Okay, so today we will be making tamago. Tamago is a type of egg dish that has very few simple ingredients. So we have 4 eggs, some olive oil for the pan meating. This is like sweet sauce. It's just sweet. Hondashi. It's like a fish stock. It gives it like a very distinct I wouldn't say fish flavor. I don't know. It tastes Asian. And then we have pink salt here. So the steps for this will be, first we will be taking the eggs, we'll be cracking them and then beating them in with the mirin, hondashi, and the salt. And then the hard part is once we are done getting the egg mixture ready, we'll be temperature controlling the pan and making sure that the egg is being flipped at the right time and being cooked just long enough so that the eggs are not getting completely cooked all the way through and then hardening before we can fold them. Okay, once our hands are clean, we're gonna begin with the eggs first. So the recipe I'm making is gonna call for 4 eggs. Now that we have 4 eggs, we are going to throw in some mirin. So I don't have an accurate teaspoon measurement for this yet, but the way I guide it is I listen for like 3 like glugs coming out of the bottle. So when I'm over here, I'll go 1, 2, 3. And that's how I know how much mirin to put in there. Again, depending on how you want it to taste, if you want more sweet tasting in the egg, add more of this. If you want it to be a little more salty, add more of this. And this is the hondashi, by the way. And so same thing with this, I kind of eyeball it. Like, for reference, for me, it's like maybe enough to feed like 20-ish fish. Because it kind of looks like fish food. Little pellets in here. Kind of looks like fish food. Okay, and then we will now be beating the eggs. Okay, so now you wanna, oh right, we need salt. So we have that, and then salt. So the salt helps bring out the sweet taste in the thing. I'm just gonna beat the eggs here. Don't worry about seeing some egg whites still not like completely mixed in through. That's perfectly fine. We just want to make sure that the mirin and the hondashi are beating smoothly. So I'll put this for this part. This is where the dish gets rather difficult. Controlling the heat of the pan as well as making sure when to flip the egg is a little difficult. First off, we want it on a lower heat just to heat up the pan. And then once the pan is heated, we're gonna apply a generous amount of oil to the pan to make sure that the eggs don't stick on. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour over the entire pan area. And once the pan area is completely covered, we're gonna let it cook for a little bit while stirring at it semi-aggressively, trying to get the egg to like layer, like to build a solid layer on the bottom but not on the top. So I'll begin. So generous amount of olive oil. Also, I recommend having a spatula and the longest chopsticks you can find. This makes the process much easier. Right, we can begin. Okay, so begin by pouring the first layer down and making sure to save enough for other layers. So now that this layer is down, I'm going to increase the heat just a little bit and I'm going to start stirring at it kind of aggressively. Because what I want to happen is I want the bottom layer to form, but I want the top layer to remain yolky, or to have that egg texture. Okay, so we let this cook for a little bit. Once I start to see the bottom starting to form a little, I'm gonna continue to swipe at the egg. Let's increase a little bit. And one of the keys to this dish is to not be afraid of the egg being runny, because if the egg at the end is kind of runny, then we can always try heating it up afterwards to cook it through. So right now you can see it's starting to form right here. The egg is starting to build up. You see like a little bit of scrambled egg action here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start pushing it all into one side right here. So lowering heat, and I'm gonna start pushing the egg onto one side. One side. Okay, now that the egg is down on one side, what I'm gonna do is pour another layer of olive oil. Okay, get that through. And then I'm gonna pour the second egg layer right here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lift up this egg layer that's down here. So that second layer can form. I will begin getting the edges so that it can form all the way. Letting that yolk drain back down. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold right here. Actually, it'll be easier if I do it this way. I'm going to fold in. And get the egg to fold all the way down, like so. So now you see how the egg is still a little runny on the edges here. That's perfectly fine. So again, drop a little bit. Just get some oil down there. That was hot. And now, finish the egg batter. The egg should not be smoking, so keep it low. And then coming back here, using our chopstick, we want to get it underneath right here. Okay, push this in. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this. Flip it. Right there, exactly. There we go. And so what we're going for is we're going for this brown color right here. That's how you kind of can tell if the egg is done or not. And you can guess how well the eggs are done by like kind of pushing at it. If you push down and it's like kind of squelchy, then you know there's too much liquid and the egg isn't all the way done. But at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for any leftover egg yolk. See if anything is coming out. If not, I'm gonna go ahead, turn the flame off, and let the residual heat from the pan do the rest of the cooking. We're gonna get a knife, and we are gonna cut this up. Yeah, a little firm. Move it around a little bit. And so, depending on what kind of pan you use, you can actually get the egg to come out in a square shape. This is the pan you generally want to use because you'll see that the egg would come out in a perfect rectangular shape. However, the coating on this pan has already been ruined, so I wouldn't be able to succeed in making this egg with this. So, cut the corners off first. Okay. And so this way you can see the inside of the egg is layered. So now we're gonna cut into pieces. Just move this out of the way. There we go. And what we can do is, for the longer pieces that were in the middle, we can cut them against once more, but I'm just gonna leave it. So this is the end product right here. Let me grab a nice piece. So this is what the Tamago looks like. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it cool here. And then once it's cool, you know, just, you can eat it like is if you like your eggs hot, or if you'd rather wait for them to cool, just flip them over so that the insides get some air right here. That was a little hot. And there we go, Tamago.